my time on the internet, I have witnessed some absolutely awful things be created. Most of these being coined as slang terms that are used in literally every comment section and video everywhere on the internet. Some of these words I'm guilty of using. Some of these words people should actually be guilty for using, like prison time. And the difference between those two is what we're here to figure out today. I'm gonna be ranking 28 of the most popular slang terms in the past couple years, known as Gen Z slang, and I'm gonna be ranking them from S tier being the best and F tier being the worst. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're starting off here with alpha male first. Alpha male, depends. If you're using it in like a satirical way, like if you're using the phrase alpha male, it's fine, it could be funny. But if you are the alpha male, like I'm talking like Andrew Tate stan, like, oh my gosh, Andrew Tate is right about everything he says, he's never missed, bro. Or like you've got the freaking alpha grind set or whatever. It's just so cringy, so weird. But we're gonna be using this as, I guess, the actual like alpha male person, like someone posting this and saying they are an alpha male, which is just absolute D tier. I mean, that's just as cringy as can be. Next we have ballin. I love this phrase. Ballin is like, it's not like a top tier phrase of all time, but it's such just a nice phrase to use. Like I don't use it frequently, but you know, on the occasion, I'd say a few times a year, I whip out the word ballin. And I said, like, bro was really ballin', you know, something like that. And, you know, I'm not really proud after I said it, but it's a good phrase, so I'm going to put it in a nice, comfortable B. Next, we got blood. Because bro wasn't enough, and dog or any of those weren't enough. We needed blood. Basically, what it is it's bro, but you're, like, talking down to someone by saying blood. Like, blood really did this, or bloody really did that. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. It sounds... I mean, I get why it's there, and it makes sense as a word. It's also a little bit cringy. It's a little derogatory. We already have like the words bro and dog. I don't know why we need this. I mean, it's not like a detriment to society, but it is a little weird, so I'm gonna go C tier. Next is bubblegum pink. This one. Do I have to explain this one? If you don't know, people like to guess the color of female private parts. And they like to say that it's bubblegum pink, or these like nerds and girls comment sections, like all the like Instagram models and all that stuff. If you look in their comment sections, it'll be like, is it bubblegum pink? And people like asking that all the time. It's so weird. It's genuinely like harassment. It's so weird. And these people are super sad. They think they have like rizz and they're like rizzing up the girl, or maybe like they think they're like comedic geniuses. They're not. The joke's overused. So I don't know why this is a thing for so long. That's going in F tier. Next we have bussin. Bussin I have used on the occasion. This word, I'm gonna be straight honest, I'd put it in F tier. But there are very few occasions where I actually use this word, and I hate this word. Like, I genuinely hate it, but there's a few times where you just feel the need and it just fits that mold perfectly, and you're like, I can use this and it won't be cringy. So for that reason, I'm gonna go D, but I just hate the word, but I've used it before and I didn't hate it, so I'm gonna have to go D, but you will not really catch me using that on a daily basis, or even anymore to be exact. Next we have canon event. This kind of reminds me of the alpha male thing in a way, and the fact that it's like people think that they have like a canon event, because like if you don't know, like people's character arcs, I guess they're like life. A canon event is something like important that happened in their life that was like huge or important to like further events that happen in their life. So they use this as a thing. It became a trend. It's still a little bit of a thing. Like bro went through his canon event after he got broken up with by his toxic girlfriend or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like fantastic. There have been some funny memes from it, which is why I think it's good, but I think it's overused and wrongly used a lot, so we're gonna put it in C. Next we have cap. Cap is solid. I mean, cap is just like a staple, right? I don't know if it's necessarily as big as it once was, but you know, you gotta throw the cap occasionally. It's a little weird now because it is a little old, and you know, like I was saying, I don't know how relevant it still is, because I haven't been paying attention to how many times people have actually said cap in the last year, but you know, it's just a staple term, right? So I think it goes up there with ballin' for just being like a classic, nice, nothing wrong with using cap, nice slang term, love it. Next we have drip. Honestly, I really like drip. I also like this picture of Goku a lot. I don't even watch anime, but that goes hard. Yeah, I'm not really sure where that originally came from, but I know that's like the drip Goku. But anyways, drip, I mean, that's just a classic. I mean, that's gonna go A tier. It's not like S tier, like top tier slang, but you know, you can say somebody has drip or something. I mean, that'll probably stay around for a really long time, and I think it has been around for a while, so it's at a comfortable A tier. Next we have finna. Now, finna is something I don't know if I've actually heard someone use in person. If I did hear in person, I would slap them, but it's more, you know, on like online conversations, comment sections, and stuff like finna. Honestly, I like using finna because well, now that I'm thinking about it, I was about to say I like using it in place of gonna, but it's literally like the same amount of letters as gonna. Like, instead of saying I'm gonna go to the game, it's I'm finna go to the game, and it really doesn't save you any time. And I was gonna put it a little bit higher, but now I think it's just kind of stupid. If I see someone using this, I'd slap them. I think I've used it in like text message conversations before a long time ago. It's a little cringy. It's not necessary, but it's not like a detriment to society, I guess, so we'll go see. Next, we have glazing. I think glazing is hilarious. Not like the actual art, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in S tier straight up. That's our first S tier of the video. But this is a relatively newer term, but I think it's hilarious. I mean, obviously you have like terms like meatriding and stuff like that, and like stands and all that stuff. But I think this is on a whole different level. Maybe because it's newer. And, you know, we always have a new term for like these diehard fans for things. But I like some of the memes that have come through here, like Instagram comments on girls' posts or whatever, and it's like donuts getting glazed. I think it's funny. I think it's a great way to say people are like freaking going crazy over somebody or overhyping something. So yeah, I think it's a good term. I don't know how much I've actually used it, but I just like the idea of it, you know? I feel like it'll catch on, it'll become the next big thing. It's on the rise. You gotta invest in this one. Next up, we have another uncomfortable one that I really hate being on here is Grippy. So if you remember me talking about the bubblegum pink one, this is basically the equivalent to that. It's these people in comment sections of girls, and they think they're either funny or rizzing them up, asking not only if it's bubblegum pink, but if it's grippy, if it grips. They are asking a real living human woman if it grips. You keep this in mind. These are real people having an interaction online. Yeah, it's insane. F tier. It was kind of funny at some points. I feel like this one was a little more funny, but not in the terms that like I was talking about being used. Like when people used it for other things that it shouldn't have been used for, that's when it was funny. So I would put it, I guess, above, but I mean, still at its core, it's just so weird. Next, we have gyatt, and honestly, I mean, this is gonna be very, very controversial because I feel like some people hate this, but I love the gyatt memes. I feel like now I imagine probably it's gonna get oversaturated soon. It's like huge right now and it's being used so much, but like I think it's hilarious. I don't know if we've had like the term dump truck, but that's not as fun, right? Because now with gyatt, you can like turn it into other memes, like the I need more bullets guy or stuff like that, where you wouldn't use it in the term of like actually putting it on a thirst trap, which I know that there are people in the comment sections of thirst traps on TikTok and Instagram saying gyatt, and that goes right in with the bubblegum pink and the grippy people. But for me, when I see memes of like the bullets guy or like Hank from Breaking Bad busting it down, I think it's hilarious. This is an S tier for now. All right, next we have Hear Me Out. Now this one could be absolutely hilarious or could be just straight up a crime. I've heard some absolutely wild things after the phrase hear me out, and a lot of the times, depending on who it is, I will say no, I will not hear you out. You know, I love to hear everybody's opinion, I love to give everything a chance, but sometimes no, I'm just not hearing you out. That's going in A tier. Pretty solid, but it can get really, really messed up really, really fast. Next we have hits different. Hits different, honestly, that's just a stay. I feel like this one could stay for a long time. Like if something hits different, it just hits different, you know? And I'm just saying it feels so natural. It feels like an actual like term, not just slang. So for that reason, I feel like it's too classic to give it anything but S. Next we have It's Giving. This is probably the most annoying thing I've heard. Well, actually no, there's some worse ones on this list. But yeah, It's Giving is absolutely annoying. They look at your outfit and be like, it's giving James Charles, and then you just want to like slap him in the face and drop kick him. It's so annoying. Yeah, I hate when people say it. It's so bad. In comments in real life, oh, if I hear it in real life, oh no, no, ain't gonna happen. Yeah, absolutely terrible. Next is living in my head rent-free or living rent-free in my head, anything like that, you know, living rent-free. I've said the same thing like 3 times. What am I doing? Anyways, I mean, this is a little overused. I feel like, yeah, some things live in your head rent-free, but some people do this really cringily, and it's just kind of like mediocre in the first place, but then some people just kind of like misuse it to where it's not funny. So I feel like it's got to go C tier, near the middle, but you know, on the lower end. Next, we have Lowkey. I love using the term Lowkey. Like Lowkey, this is like a slept on thing. And see, like, you know, I obviously intentionally use that for comedic effect there, but honestly, this is just such a staple phrase. It's kind of like the hits different. It just sounds right. It feels right. I feel like this has the chance to like stick around because it's actually like a solid phrase, right? Next, we have meatriding. Meatriding is basically glazing, but it's just meatriding. The only reason I think glazing's probably better is because you can't, like, if you're at like school or something, you probably can't say meatriding, but you probably can say glazing. So that's the only difference. So I think I'm gonna have to go A tier for meatriding, just because if you say it out in public, you're probably gonna get some stares. But if you say glazing, it's not as weird, because meatriding does have a few different meanings other than just like really loving somebody, or what's it, like standing after them and like hardcore fangirling. So yeah, it has a couple different meanings, so I feel like glazing kind of just like ices the cake there for that meaning. But yeah, good phrase overall, put it in A. Next we have, oh, I don't want to say this out loud. We have mommy. This is another internet simp phrase that they like to use on girls on Instagram and thirst traps and stuff. It's right up with the same people that comment, yeah, it's bubblegum, pink, grippy, all that. It's just say mommy. Keep it to yourself, man. Some things don't need to be commented, shared with the world. Going in F tier. Hate it. Next we have musty. Now in the normal case, this is actually pretty decent, but Sniper Wolf ruined like most of this by saying like musty, crusty, dusty, and like rhyming her little stupid words with it, and it's really annoying. But other than that, I think musty's a decent term. It's actually better to say than like someone like stinky. Like that just sounds weird if you say someone's stinky. Like that has like a bad taste in my mouth when I say it, and it just doesn't sound right. But musty just sounds so much better, so we're gonna put it in, honestly, I'm thinking B or A, because I really like this as an alternative to the words it replaces. So you know what, I think we're gonna put it in B, because I think it is a little misused sometimes. Next we have peak. Something was peak, I mean, it's just straightforward. I feel like this is just an instant A tier. It's pretty classic. If something was peak, it's just great. It's good. I mean, I've used it a few times. It's not like an everyday thing, but I will use it any chance I get. And you know, it's just another one that feels natural, but I don't feel like it's as big as the ones in S tier. Next we have, oh jeez, I hate reading some of these, dude. Period. Do I have to explain this one? I'm just putting it in F. Anybody that says this is beyond annoying, and it's like you at all times. If they say this on the regular, you want them to shut up. I don't care who this person is. I guarantee you 99.9% of the time, if someone is regularly using this phrase, you want them to shut up. Like, you know this person and you want them to not speak, because anything that comes out of their mouth is either loud, annoying, or just like doesn't need to be said. Absolutely annoying, astronomically terrible phrase. I hate this phrase. I mean, there's no reason to say it. There's nothing it really replaces. It's just an ad-lib, basically, that's loud and annoying. I know some people absolutely love this word, and they live by this as, like, their life motto. I would honestly rather hear somebody, like, start screaming Grippy after they finish a sentence other than period. Next, we have rizz. Rizz is S tier. Rizz is literally, like, top tier. Like, I know that there's been words like game and... Are there any other terms for, like, honestly, I feel like rizz has overshadowed them all that we don't even remember anymore. Like, how long, think about it, has rizz been a meme? It's been a meme for a hot minute now. Like, it's newer, but, like, it's already a classic, and it's gonna stay like that, I guess, until another word replaces it. I mean, there's so many funny memes. You can make a lot of words with it, like, it's just like there's so many uses for it, and it's such like a funny word, like the Rizzler, the Wizard of Oz. Like, you could do all those like word plays with it. There's so many possibilities with this. I feel like it's such a funny phrase. It's gotta be S tier. Next we have simp. I used to use simp a lot when calling people this, or like when, you know, it's just a phrase that I feel like has kind of gone out of date in a way. I mean, yes, it's still used, and yet there are still people who are simps that fit the mold, but I feel like the word isn't used as much anymore. I mean, it's definitely what you can call people, like asking if it's grippy or calling people mommy and stuff like that. You can definitely put them in the simp category. I just feel like it hasn't been used a lot, and it just seemed a little weird to say now. So I think I'm gonna put it in B, because it still has like a use, but I just feel like it's not used. Next we have slay. I don't know what else to say. I feel like this is much better than period, but it's still on like the same level essentially. It's another annoying ad-lib that's shouted for no apparent reason. This one, actually, no, it does have a reason, and period just doesn't. Slay, I guess, when someone does something good, or like they're great or whatever. Sure, if you want to ad-lib stuff like that, go ahead. I hate it, but whatever. Easy F tier in my opinion. Next we have sus. This at one point would have been an S tier, but now it has just fallen off astronomically. This is so cringy to say now, so cringy to reference. I bet there are still some little kids playing Among Us, which I kind of forgot about that game in general, to be honest. That fell off so hard, dude. But I bet there's still the really younger skibbity toilet generations using this word. It's not used. can't hate it if it's not there, right? I don't hear it. I still think it's cringy. It at one point was on top of the world, and I would have put it in S tier come like 3-4 years ago. But now it's definitely a D tier. It's just a kind of out of the way one. If it was there, it'd be an F, but it's really not present, so it'll be a comfortable D. Next, I don't know if you can see this picture, but there's actually some holographic dogs in these lungs, and this stands for the phrase "got that dog in them." I like this phrase. That's a solid A. Like someone's got that dog in them. You know, they're like tough. They've done something good. They got that dog in them. Done something impressive. I mean, what else? It's kind of funny. I mean, you're saying like dog, you got a dog in them. I mean, dog's already a funny phrase. It's kind of like bro. It's nice, you know. You use it, you hype up your friend, hype up your little buddy old pal. It's a good phrase. It goes hard. Nothing else to say. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like literally one of the best phrases ever, but it is still very good. Don't let my A tier fool you. And last but certainly not least, we have W. And I feel like it's only fitting that we give W in S tier. You can use W in like almost everywhere, every comment section. I mean, it's just the ultimate like hype up. This is like the better than he has the dog in him, because it's just simple, right? Just W. W moment, W this, W rizz. You can combine this with any or most of these phrases, like W rizz, W gyatt. that hurt to say. Okay, that did hurt to say. Don't combine those two ever. Like W hits different. Like you can combine these. It's just it's like the glue that keeps all of these together. And I feel like this one will stay, especially with like the internet. W everything, and I don't care what you say. Twitch chat definitely loves it. They'd put this in SSSSS plus tier, but yeah, I feel like it's a very comfortable S tier, very legendary. Well, that's it for the tier list. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Speaking of videos like this, there should be some just like this on screen right now that you can go watch. 2 links you gotta check out. 1 is channel memberships, and 2 is the link to the Discord server. Both of those will be linked in the description. Make sure to go check those out, get yourself some cool perks, and chat with me and, you know, all my other Discord members in the Discord server. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.